Nestled in the heart of Sevierville, Tennessee, just a short drive from the Smoky Mountains, the Apple Barn is more than a local attraction, it's a cherished tradition. Originally built in early 1900s as a working barn, it became the Apple Barn we know it today in 1981 when Hicks and Kilpatrick families converted it into a charming apple-themed village. Since then, it's grown into one of the most beloved stops in the Smokies. It's more than just a store or restaurant. The Apple Barn is a full experience. It's a place where family traditions are made and the smell of warm cider greets you before the door even opens. Our family loved this stop in Sevierville, Tennessee, and I'm going to show you all of the ins and outs of the Apple Barn. It's a little slice of Southern comfort. A little background history, the two families began planting rows of apple trees and eventually it grew into a full orchard. The barn itself was preserved and repurposed into a general store and bakery, and over time the whole property blossomed into what it is today, a cozy, charming village of country shops, restaurants, and of course, plenty of apples. First up, we're visiting the Apple Barn General Store. I have yet to meet a general store that I didn't like, but this one is particularly good. Nostalgia is just around every corner. It's like stepping back in time. Rows of old-fashioned candies, shelves of local jams, handmade crafts, and one-of-a-kind decor. But the real magic happens at the bakery, and that's what they're most famous for. Each morning, the smell of warm apple cinnamon bread drifts through the air, drawing in locals and travelers alike. It's baked fresh daily. It's a moist spice loaf that pairs perfectly with coffee. I can just eat it straight from the bag because it's so good. You'll also find fried apple pies, apple muffins, buttery cookies, and seasonal treats depending on when you're visiting. Around the holidays, they might have some warm cider on hand and festive flavors that make an appearance. Next, we head to the Apple Barn Winery, located just a few steps away from the general store. Of course, this is more fun for the adults, but since the Apple Barn is a family-friendly destination, kids are allowed to be there for tastings. This isn't your average winery. Here, all the wines are made with locally grown fruits and apples take center stage. No grape base, just pure, fresh flavor. Visitors are invited to sample wines for free, and tasting staff are always ready with a story or recommendation. Popular picks include the Apple Blush, a semi-sweet apple wine with hints of strawberry, and the Apple Peach, which is a light, crisp pairing for any summer sipping. For wine lovers or just curious tasters, it's a fun and flavorful stop at the Apple Barn. In many cases, if you purchase wine after your tasting, they'll let you keep your souvenir tasting glass. You can also buy bottles to take home, and yes, they're allowed to ship to some states depending on regulations. Since the Apple Barn Winery is part of the Rocky Top Wine Trail, you can get a passport stamp and receive free gifts as you visit other participating wineries in the area, like the Hillside Winery or Mountain Valley Vineyards. I think this is one of the best souvenir finds in Sevierville, Tennessee to take home or have shipped back to your house. If you have a sweet tooth, you've got to satisfy it with the Apple Barn Candy Factory. From rich chocolate fudge to melt-in-your-mouth pralines, this place is a playground of confections. You can watch as candy makers create treats right before your eyes. They're hand-pulling saltwater taffy, they're dipping apples in fresh caramel, and rolling chocolate truffles. In the words of my 11-year-old, that's satisfying. It's an old-fashioned candy shop that makes you feel like you're in a scene of a movie. And yes, it's nearly impossible to leave without a bag or two of goodies. We were told that their signature candy are caramel apples. Totally makes sense. And they aren't your average caramel apples. They're made fresh daily using crisp apples straight from the orchard and dipped in rich buttery caramel. And then you can add extras like crushed peanuts, miniature chocolate chips, drizzled caramel, toasted coconut, even seasonal toppings. You don't want to miss a caramel apple, right? Now here's something that surprises a lot of first-time visitors. The Apple Barn actually has two separate wine experiences on property. We already discussed the Apple Barn Winery, but there's also the Apple Barn Dessert Wine Shop, and they both offer free tastings. While the Apple Barn Winery is your go-to for classic fruit wines, you're going to want to check out the dessert shop for a little bit more of an indulgent experience. Here, the wines are fortified with apple brandy, giving them a higher alcohol content, a richer body, and dessert-style sweetness. Think flavors like apple pie, blackberry, or blueberry, perfect for sipping after dinner or even drizzling over ice cream. These dessert wines are smooth, bold, and best enjoyed slowly. But like I said, they're also another great souvenir. If you're looking for a cool treat during the summer, stop in the Apple Valley Creamery, also known as the Ice Cream Factory. Inside this restored dairy farm, you'll find a rotating menu of homemade ice cream flavors from traditional vanilla bean to seasonal stars like apple pie, butter pecan, and blackberry cobbler. It's the perfect place to slow down for a few minutes, especially on a hot Tennessee afternoon. Grab a cone, head to the porch, and enjoy the views of the orchards while the kids play nearby. After a day of exploring, there's no better way to wind down than with a delicious meal, and the Apple Barn offers 2 full-service restaurants right on property, the Applewood Farmhouse Restaurant and the Applewood Grill. We opted for the Farmhouse Restaurant because that's where it all began. Housed in a historic farmhouse, this is one of the oldest restaurants in Sevierville and truly a local treasure. The restaurant serves a unique family-style menu where everybody orders their own entree, but their sides are unlimited refills, so you're going to get a lot of food. Think of Southern classics like crispy fried chicken, turkey dinners, Southern-style meatloaf, chicken pot pie, and chicken and dumplings. The sides are like creamy mashed potatoes, slow-cooked green beans, fried okra, and Southern cornbread dressing. The food is warm and hearty. You want to wear your eating pants, and each room is unique, so you have a different experience every time you come. It feels like Sunday dinner at Grandma's. Every guest is welcome with a complimentary serving of fresh apple fritters and a glass of their signature apple julep, and it is the perfect way to start this meal. Farmhouse Restaurant, we're having dinner. My advice is to get here early, walk around the Apple Barn Village. There's some really great shops, there's a winery, there's a hard cider bar, a creamery. You can save that for after dinner, but join the wait list because it gets really busy, and you can walk around while you're on the wait list and then be seated for dinner, and dinner is pretty quick. You have unlimited sides. We pick 3 sides for the table and they're refilled, and then everybody picks their main course. I got the sampler. This is chicken and dumplings, chicken pot pie, and fried chicken. So much food, but it's already so good, and I'm really enjoying the Southern classics. The Apple Barn is truly a delicious experience in Sevierville and a must-do for all ages. Even my kids enjoy this stop. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Subscribe for more family travel videos and easy recipes from SavvyMamaLifestyle.com.